Duchesne, goalie, they're fine. Just it was an active recovery day today. So whether you got on the ice or you were off the ice, we just gave the guys what they needed. There was a short, so that we're back more harder and more specific tomorrow. And after our game yesterday, some players are a little banged up and stuff. So we wanted to make sure that it was a recovery day, but we didn't want it off, so we wanted an active recovery day. So some guys were in the gym, some guys were in the therapy table, some guys were on the ice.
CC Harper?
Oh yeah, CC's good to go. Harper, I doubt. Well, we'll see, but right now, he wasn't on there, so we'll try to monitor that the next days.
Upper or lower body? Upper or lower body?
Middle body, how's that?
Are you concerned about losing Boro for Friday's game?
We'll see. We'll let the process happen, and it's happening today. So, I don't get stressed over these things because I'm rarely right on any of them. So that's why I'm doing my job, and the league does their job.
Are you a little surprised that there's a hearing on that?
I don't. I never have any comments on these things. It's just, game happens fast, and you got to deal with the repercussions after of whether it's your player involved on one side or the other.
If you have 7 defensemen available, are you going to go with 7 in Colorado?
Well, certainly we'll consider it for sure. The only thing is I'd like to get McCormick in. He's ready to go. So it'll depend on who's available, and it's more about who's available than anything else. So Cease will be in, and then we'll see about Harps. And then, we'll see about Boro.
Do you sense that Duchesne is eagerly anticipating this one, going back to his home?
They haven't even talked about it. No, I think that's more of an outside thing than it is an inside thing. I think he wants to win games for us, period. So whether we play them or somebody else, he gets prepared like a pro every day. So.
Did you see Crosby's goal? I know you know Sydney.
Well, they just told me that you might ask me that question, and I did not. But no matter how sick it is, I've coached him for 2 years, so I've seen some pretty crazy stuff in practice and in games in junior. So I highly doubt that I'm going to be surprised.
Very good. Do you have a goal? Will you announce your goalie today? Who you'll start against Colorado?
Andy. Andy will be in that. But our plan is to get, we had a nagging thing with Condo there, so it's getting much better, and so we're getting much closer. So our plan is to get him in a game on the trip.
DeMello talked about how when you have a play like you had against Marchand there, you get dropped, that the key for a guy like him that's getting bigger minutes is to recover from that. And
for sure, and you're right. Like in his case, to get bigger minutes against the better players, and whether it's him or a young guy, that's what we've been talking about since the beginning of the year. That's our biggest challenge, is for having players to be able to play against the top players. In the long run, I know 100% we're developing guys that will be able to do that for sure. In the absence of CC, obviously, we had to try different guys, and a lot of guys are getting more minutes against the top players. But you can't just say because you're getting more minutes, you're able to manage that. I mean, there's a reason why players in the league are matchups, and their top 2 guys or top 4 guys being able to play day in, day out, and shift in, shift out against the top players. It's because they've got those attributes and those qualities, and if you're not used to it, if you don't have the qualities for it, or you're too young to have experience with it, there's many reasons that make it hard to be able to do that. And so now a guy like DeMello, who's been terrific for us since the beginning of the year, well, he's having to take log minutes against top-end players a lot more than he's ever had to. So it's an adjustment, because a guy like Marchand will turn you inside out even though you're a shutdown guy. So it's a lot to ask for, whether it's DeMello, whether it's Chabot or Lajoie or it's hard. It's very hard because you're fine for 6, 7, 8 shifts, a period and a half, but at overtime, that's the difficulty. But that's why we're in the rebuild year, and we're developing guys that will be able to do it. But like I said, we need time, whether it's an older guy or a young guy. It's just building it over time, and that's our process that we're focused on. And I think we're much better at it. But as you can see, like I said yesterday morning, it's clearly the best line in hockey for me. So we were able to manage it for a while. But I thought with our forwards, Smith, Pajärvi, and Pyatt, they were terrific. Like there was nothing again when they played against them. But the minute it wasn't them on the ice, you saw boom. They killed us, and that's the reason why is that you have some guys that are able to do it, some guys are not able to do it. But over time, we're definitely planning to groom some guys that will be able to do it. And right now we got to relay, one guy for a few minutes, then another guy, and all that. One guy I thought who's done a really good job yesterday was Jaros, being able to do that, and I've projected that for a while now that he will be able to do that. But he's going to have his moments too. But I think yesterday it's a very, very encouraging thing. Like he defends, and he defends hard, and he's aggressive. He's physical. He's got great gapping. So I mean that's a great package right there. And we talk about all the other guys, but there's a guy that's coming big time.
When you are in Colorado against that top line, not with the last line change, are you just letting things roll, or are you instructing guys to keep an eye, get off when you can?
But yeah, we might have to do that. But I'll be honest, on the road, the way we're built now, I think it's going to have to be a bit like when we played Toronto. Like it's going to be whoever they want, their guys against our guys. You can jump the board a little bit, but you also disrupt your bench a lot when you have to do that on the road. At home it's easier, but on the road there's a lot more disruption in your bench than if you're trying to do that. When you're able to manage that better when you got a top 4D that's used to doing that, got the experience, and then you got two lines of guys that even three lines of guys that are able to manage that. So right now the way we're doing it and the way we're focusing on our development is that we've got a young guy on pretty much every line. On defense, it's pretty much the same thing there. So it means that there's a lot of grooming there, and we want to do it this way so that everybody gets to evolve and be able to do it in the long run. And that's my plan there. So I won't have a shutdown line. We probably won't have a shutdown pair. We'll try to get CC out there as much as we can when we can, of course. But the reality is, we're playing tag right now with our players. It's your turn. Then it's your turn, and so everybody gets to develop, and that's the mindset that we have.